Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, NBA fans, lovers, fanatics. Welcome to episode 2 of CenterCourt. And as you can see, we have the Vape Life with me and Leroy. Fellas, how's it going?
Doing good, man.
Good day.
All right. So let's start it off first. Big game tonight. Warriors, Oklahoma City Thunder. What do you guys think? Who you got?
I got OKC.
Really? Going with the upset.
I know the Warriors are probably going to win, but I just like OKC. It's a good matchup, and they've been waiting for this. So that's why I'm rooting for them.
I mean, I'm
still taking the Warriors.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, I'm hoping OKC wins. At this point, I just want the Warriors to lose.
Yeah.
I need something to hit their tracks. I need them to get a little bit, I want them to see some turbulence. That's all. They're going to win all this year anyways, most likely. But I just want to see a little turbulence on the way there.
It's tough to pick against either one of these teams right now because Golden State's on an historic run, but OKC since Christmas is 20-2. So, right now these are the two hottest teams in the NBA at the moment. So it's going to be a great game, but Golden State's just right now head and shoulders above the rest of the league.
And they're 29-6 since Durant came back from his injury. So
what's the big key with them for the last two seasons is their health. Westbrook is back 100% and better than maybe he was before he got hurt. And now that Durant's healthy enough to play 90% of the games, I mean, they're right back where they were a couple years ago.
Their defense is getting good too. So
they're a solid defensive unit.
It's just
the other night,
that's it.
Their bench isn't that bad, but I wrote an article for OTG basketball off the glass, and I talked about this is going to lead into our first topic: is OKC a title contender? Should Durant attack the media saying, you guys don't give us any love, we should be in that talk, but because you guys don't like us, how Russell Westbrook acts and how I am, you guys just don't like us to put us in there. And I mean, they're good, but those two play way too much isolation basketball for OKC to be a true title contender. They don't get their bench involved enough. You pretty much see the same 3 to 4 guys every night in the vocal point of their offense.
They live and die with Westbrook and Durant. I mean, we've known that for
100%.
years, but it got them to the finals a few years ago. And if they're back 100% playing at the level they are now, which is almost equivalent to what the level they were playing at a couple of years ago when they made the finals. I mean, most of the pieces are still there besides Harden. I think their front line got better with Adams instead of Perkins in there, and still got Ibaka, who's improved offensively. He's still a great defender. So, I mean, I think they're contenders, but I don't think it's a serious contention because they still have to compete with the Spurs and the Warriors in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And that's another thing, back when they made the finals, not that team basketball wasn't around, but you saw a lot of teams with isolation basketball players go farther into the playoffs. It was more of an LeBron that year did a lot of isolations for Miami. It was a big isolation league for the most part.
And again, they also had Harden there too. That was getting 12 free throw attempts a game in the playoffs, helping them out.
And they also had still young Serge, Mr. Ibaka.
Yeah.
I mean, the other night they won. They beat Orlando by 3. Durant hit a game-winning 3, and Ibaka had a huge block on the other end to set that all up.
Yes, he did. I saw that. Yeah.
I mean, Ibaka's still a good defender. They're just having him concentrate more on the offensive end. So I think he's saving his energy a little bit more to give him that third scoring option instead of being the enforcer, the rim protector that he was a few seasons ago.
100%. Are they title contenders? Because I personally don't feel like they are. I think they're on the outside. I think they're right on the cusp of being a title contender, but there's just something missing that makes them a true threat.
Yeah. I feel like Cantor and Adams are coming up and they're getting better than what they've been, especially when Cantor was on the Jazz. He's doing a lot better. And then I don't know. I feel like their bench needs something, but I just don't know what the bench needs. Because, I mean, they have Dion Waiters. He's not coming off the bench, but still, you don't know what you're going to get from Dion Waiters. Anthony Morrow is pretty good. So they just need something. I just don't know what.
But they don't have, they don't have that secondary ball handler and like scorer
Yeah.
coming in their second unit. Like you look at people like the Clippers, you got Jamal Crawford. He's a typical six man that you want to see there. And the one problem with OKC you see is a lot of the teams are going small, but OKC still plays a traditional lineup with a true power forward and a true center. And most of their important players are Ibaka, Adams, and Cantor. So when they play like OKC or some team the Warriors, a team that wants to go small, I don't know if they're going to be able to react as well with Durant at the 4.
True.
I can see that as an issue. I mean, so you guys don't see them as top contenders either, right? Durant's blown this out of proportion.
I see him as an outside shot to get to like the Western Conference Finals, but I don't know what the road is going to be with the seedings, but I don't see them getting past, the Spurs. They're going to have to get past both the Spurs and the Warriors most likely. So I don't see him getting past both of those teams to get to the finals. They might skate past one if Westbrook and Durant get hot in the playoffs into the conference finals, but there's no way they can, win 16 games that way.
I just feel like we're probably going to see something during tonight's game of like, if they had to play him in the playoffs, what type of atmosphere it's going to be like. So I feel like that's a game that everyone should be watching.
I mean, it's definitely going to be a good matchup. Like, I think even though Westbrook has thrown shade as if he didn't, like, the other night, they were like, "Are you looking forward to Saturday?" He goes, "What's Saturday?" And they were like, "You're playing the Warriors." He was like, "Oh, that's Saturday?" Like, damn well Westbrook is prepared for this Stephen Curry matchup. Like, yes. we all know what kind of competitor Westbrook is. He's looking forward to this. I think you're going to see – you might see one of the best defensive performances Westbrook's ever put up tonight, or at least attempt to. I'm not saying it's going to work. Curry is a god. But
you're going to see him come out with the intensity, but we've seen Westbrook when he comes out like this, sometimes he gets out of control and he gets reckless, and he'll have one of those games where he shoots 33 times and only makes 6 or 7 baskets and won't give the ball up because he's trying to prove that he's one of the best point guards in the league. So if he can keep it under control, which he's done a little better this year than in years past, you should see a great game, but you worry when he gets hyped up for these games if he's going to be in control.
I'm interested to see what Durant does, because I don't think this year so far Iggy hasn't been that true lockdown defender he was against LeBron in the finals. I wonder if against Durant if maybe he picks it up. I think Durant's gonna have a big game tonight.
Durant's the hardest player in the NBA to defend. I mean, he's 6'11". He handles like a point guard and he shoots like a shooting guard. I mean, there's nothing you can do. I mean, the one thing that's impressive though about them the other night when that game-winning 3 is that Westbrook actually gave the ball up and gave it to Durant in crunch time. How often have we seen that where Westbrook will just bring that ball up and take it himself?
Well, I think the coolest thing about that was it was a tie game with, 8 seconds left? They still had a timeout, and they didn't call a timeout. They said, let's run this. Let's just go. Let's see what happens. And I like that. I don't like always taking a timeout and slowing it down and having both teams able to make a shot. Go out there, let your superstar try and make a play. And, Westbrook had a nice little crossover back for that nice little 3.
And I think you might learn a little bit more about OKC tonight with if they can play small. Because Durant, if they play the Warriors in the playoffs, they can try all they want to go big and pound them inside, but with the Warriors shooting threes, they're going to have to go small. And you're going to see a little bit if Durant can play the 4 and, run up and down the floor and, body with these guys like they do. Because, one of the things watching the Golden State game the other day against the Wizards is not only are these guys skilled, they get up and down the floor and they shoot, these guys are gritty. They do not take a possession off. They fight hard for every loose ball. And a team that's coming off a championship like that, you don't see often. So it can get in somebody's head like a Durant or something like that if you have 4 or 5 guys coming at you 100% every single play and don't care.
I also think it's going to be interesting to see how much isolation basketball we see tonight. Like, I wonder if they try to make the extra pass. Because, Westbrook is an underrated passer for the most part. He can actually dish the ball pretty well. And we also have Westbrook and Draymond Green, who all season for the most part have been triple-double machines. Which should be interesting to see if maybe them both or one of them both notch triple-double tonight. But it should be a good matchup.
I think Westbrook's going to get it. I feel like he's going to.
He has to. You got DJ Augustine as your backup point guard. He's pretty much got No disrespect to Augustine, but he's
He's basically a shooting guard in a point guard's body, though.
exactly. That's why he wasn't good on the Pacers.
Yeah.
You guys hear
It's
the rumor coming out of Sacramento this morning?
George Karl possibly.
No, I didn't hear it.
Yeah. George Karl's got he's on the chopping block.
It's
Why?
not a
Because
surprise.
they lost to the Nets last night.
If you know anything,
It's like if you lose one game, you better watch it.
Tyronn Lue's on a
That's
chopping block
ridiculous.
too. He keeps losing. That's it. He's 4-3 now. Mark Jackson coming in.
well, if you paid attention to anything
Please.
in like the preseason and when they brought George Karl in, this wasn't a great environment for him. DeMarcus Cousins was open about not wanting George Karl to come there. There's been news almost since George Karl got there about him and Cousins not getting along, about the locker room not, getting along. So it's not a surprise, to be honest.
I wonder who they get though. You think they get a guy like Tom Thibodeau? You think he goes to the Kings?
No.
I don't think so.
You're gonna need
too much patience.
Unless they're serious about getting rid of Cousins and trading him or doing something with him, they're going to have to bring in a player-friendly coach, because we've seen not player-friendly coaches don't get along with DeMarcus Cousins, and the organization is seeming to take his side over like the coach. George Karl has like one of the top 5 in wins in like NBA history as a head coach, and you're going to take DeMarcus Cousins, who has been a problem for multiple coaches, his side over the head coach. I understand, because DeMarcus Cousins is an incredible talent, but we're seeing you're going to need a player-friendly coach that can relate to a DeMarcus Cousins, not another, Thibodeau guy who's going to run him into the ground.
The only thing I can say is about George Karl is I'm really not a big fan of George Karl. I got to be honest. I think he was a little bit overrated in Denver all those years because they didn't do anything in the playoffs constantly when they were a pretty solid team. I feel like he's just always been, I don't want to say gifted, because you could always say like Phil Jackson was gifted for always coaching great players, but I think he was a little bit gifted by the talent he's had on his teams rather than his coaching ability. Because this is a team.
He's a guy that's going to get you to the playoffs, but he can't get it done once he gets there.
Right. And this team actually, if you look at it on paper, they're a pretty solid team.
They're 10th in the West right now, so they're not out of it. They're 10th in the West, so they're they're right in there in the second half of the season and fighting for that 8th and final playoff spot.
I mean, who do they bring in, though? Who's the guy? If they fire Karl, who do you bring in? Is Blatt an option? No, you said player-friendly coach. I can't think of any player-friendly coach. I don't think anyone's ever going to get along with DeMarcus Cousins as a coach. Unless he's in a winning...
It's very possible.
No.
It's very possible
that nobody's...
Who's open right now to be coach? Who can be a coach right now?
David Blatt, Tom
Besides
Thibodeau,
waiting to the offseason.
Mark Jackson.
Like a college coach.
There's no way Steve Van Gundy would ever go to...
No.
Mike Brown, if he's still around, I don't know.
Mike Brown, he's out there somewhere.
I'm sure him and Rondo would get along.
He's out there.
But that's
Kevin
what you
McHale
have now, though. It's Kevin.
No.
Kevin McHale was a great big man in his day, though. So if you can come, I mean, DeMarcus Cousins doesn't need any help like right now playing, but who knows? But I think you're going to need a coach that's willing to take a toxic locker room, because that locker room is a mess. I mean, with Gay, Cousins, Rondo, do these guys even get along together? They play all right on the court. Who knows what goes on in the locker room? DeMarcus Cousins has run how many coaches out of there in the last 4 years? So any coach that's willing to take that job has a tough time on his hands.
I mean, I know their big three is friendly. I know Rudy Gay and Rondo and Cousins are all pretty good friends. Because, I mean, Gay was the big, let's bring Rondo into, Sacramento, like sign him to a deal, like we could use him. And I mean, to be honest, Rondo's had a great year there. It's pretty easy when you dump the ball off to DeMarcus Cousins every other possession and just say, hey, you're pretty good. Just, chuck that ball.
It's pretty easy when the guy averages 30 and 15 for a whole month.
Yeah. And, he just had a triple-double last night, too. So that's nothing to
I feel like Rondo's he's doing good rather than we're not hearing much like when he was on the Mavs. Like we heard something all the time, like about him and the coaching. So I don't know. I feel like that's a good fit for Rondo.
He's also might be on his best behavior because he knows that the next thing he might not get another contract.
Let me give you some of the.
Sure.
He might be on his last chance. As talented as he is and as good as he is, people don't want to keep you around if you're a douchebag. Like if you're causing problems to everybody and you want to run the team your way, well, that's not how it goes. Like he's a great point guard, but he's not an elite point guard. You know, the difference between the elite teams in the NBA and teams like the Kings is when you have an elite point guard as one of your best players, you need to be able to score the ball. And some of these teams, like I'm looking at, like, you know, that's where I think another problem was wrong with the Clippers. Is Chris Paul is a great point guard, but he's not a scorer. And when he's like your second highest paid player on the team, you need this guy to be able to put the ball in the basket for you.
I mean, let me just say this:
I'm not counting on Rondo late game.
No, but Rondo is going to be a valuable point guard this offseason. Him and Conley are going to attract a lot of attention from. Like, I think Rondo said the other night that he doesn't want to play in the triangle, but
no, I saw that report earlier this morning.
Yeah, I mean, I still think the Knicks are an outside chance for Rondo. I think even though Zach Randolph said Conley isn't going, I think Mike Conley's a decent fit for the Knicks.
I would prefer
because
Conley.
Of course you would,
and Jeff Teague too.
I don't think Jeff Teague goes in the Knicks.
I think he's going in this trading window this year, and the Knicks don't have the pieces right now to acquire him for what they're willing to give up. They don't have what the Hawks are going to want in return for Jeff Teague.
Now before we get into the trade talk, that's going to take up a decent amount of time of the show. Let's hop to a team that's in trade rumors. They're fighting against the Cavs right now. The Raptors. Probably the biggest surprise to me this NBA season, as compared to teams that we knew were going to be good. This team has excelled a lot of expectations. Because they went from being
they were good last year too.
Yeah, but they went from being a 4 or 5 seed to title contenders from the East.
Two.
They're arguably just as good as Cleveland. They have one of the best backcourts in the league.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
Lowry and DeRozan have they've grown up.
And Valanciunas and Scola.
And they're not done. They've been in a lot of trade rumors. They're trying to get Markieff Morris possibly to be their 4 or maybe play a smaller lineup.
I think they need another piece or two to help Lowry and DeRozan. But the biggest thing about DeRozan is the way he's improved his mid-range to 3-point game. I mean, this is a guy when he came out of USC, you knew he was a high flyer, you knew he could get the ball to the basket, but he could not shoot at all. You could leave him wide open and he'd miss it. But now you see this guy; he's a pretty consistent mid-range shooter now.
The one thing I read a stat the other day, he can't hit standing jumpers. He's really good catch and shoot. Like from 3, I think he's shooting over 33% when it's a catch and shoot, but he's shooting under 32% when he's standing alone, just popping a J. So he's got to be catch and shoot, but that's so efficient because you have Lowry, who is a pretty elusive point guard in the league. He gets to the basket.
I think
he
you
gives
want
a lot
your
of
3-point shooters to be catch and shoot guys,
right? Which is what DeMar Carroll is as well.
Yeah. Weren't they on a win streak too, or did they get off that win streak?
They were on.
I think they lost to Denver or something like that in Denver.
Okay. Denver's beating these teams. Denver's out here right now.
Denver at home is always scary because they're used to playing in the high altitude and they get up and down the floor. So teams come in there, and if you don't play a high tempo, and you're not used to that thin air, man, you get run right off the floor. It's one of the best home court advantages in the league, which is why they were so good for so many years, because they would just run teams off the floor because they were used to playing in that environment and they were up tempo.
Let me just give you a little Eastern Conference standings preview. Toronto is 2 games back behind Cleveland in the loss column and 1 in the win column. So, if Cleveland
quietly having one of the better seasons in the league.
And they've beaten the Spurs and Cleveland and almost beat Golden State.
Who did? Toronto?
So,
yeah. That was a good. That
Toronto,
was a really good game actually when it was Toronto Warriors. It was a Lowry
and they beat OKC.
I feel like you don't hear about these guys a lot, but they're quietly just right there. And I don't know if it's people just don't want to give them the love because they're not as established yet or what. But I mean, right now you got to look, and they're serious contenders for that Eastern Conference title, especially if the Cavs don't get their act together.
I find it funny too because whenever you think about the East,
I think they're gonna come up.
Every time you think about the East, you go, Cavs. You go, Cavs are gonna win it, and then you go, second seed. You go, Bulls. Like Bulls are always for some reason always the second seed in like everybody's mind. They're like Atlanta, and then you're like, no, Pacers, Celtics, and everyone's like, oh shit, the Raptors are actually better than all 5 of those teams.
The Raptors. And I think watching the Warriors game the other night, watching the Wizards, they had a terrible start to the season. But, man, if they can come out and play like they did the other night, like they're capable of, they're dangerous too in the Eastern Conference.
I don't think they have enough, though. I mean, they're not.
The Wizards,
they might not have enough.
They have a 5, but the rest is there.
They might not have enough, but when Wall – he's one of the best pick and roll point guards in the league. Like he's so good off the pick and roll. And when Bradley Beal is on and Wall is on, and Gortat's running that pick and roll, they're scary. And you got Nene coming off the bench. I mean, they don't have they're not as dangerous as we thought they were going to be 2 or 3 years ago, but they're still scary when they're playing at the top of their game.
Let's just say this: I completely just lost my train of thought. Oh, okay. The Wizards. All this is right now. This is just a team pitch. They're just team pitching right now to Kevin Durant. This is all this is. This is a team pitch for Kevin Durant to come home. Play with a pass-first point guard, a knockdown shooter in Beal. Gortat is a pretty decent big man down low. Nene's a good backup big man. You got Otto Porter, who's a pretty decent – he'll be a perfect 6-man on that team. Then you have Sessions. They could be really good with Durant on that roster. And I think this is really just a pitch to Durant to come home.
Yeah, they have some pieces there. I mean, they don't have enough to, really maybe contend, but they're
in the East.
They're one superstar away from really making some noise.
I think they can give Cleveland a run for their money if they get Durant. I don't know if they're title contenders.
Oh yeah, obviously.
But they're Eastern
especially with free agent. If they get Durant in free agency, they don't have to give up anything to get him. Then you just don't want them to have to give up one of their good young pieces to have to get one of these guys to bring in.
Yeah, I agree.
That's what I think. Like any team that's trying to get Durant should just wait till free agency, because if you trade right now,
that's what everybody's doing, because they don't want to have to give up somebody who can get in the offseason. And you're going to have to give up so much right now to get them.
We might as well let's finish up that point. So we'll go in order. I mean, I think Toronto can possibly win the East. Berger, Leroy, your final closing thoughts?
I think they're going to have to maybe bring in a piece right now, right before the trade deadline ends. I don't know what necessarily, but maybe, a small forward or a power forward or something to help them out, maybe. Another guy that's a consistent scorer that can give them like 10 points a game, a couple rebounds here or there. But, I mean, they're good right now, but I just don't think in a 7-game series against maybe say like the Cavs or something like that, can Lowry and DeRozan, put up those type of numbers to get them through for 7 straight games.
Probably not, to be honest.
I think their bench and like that's their key, and their defense, of course. That's their main focus to win games. And if they're gonna have to beat the Cavs, that's how they're gonna have to win. And I think any team they play, that's how they're gonna beat them, is by defense and their bench scoring. And Kyle Lowry's really good, and we don't know their starting 5 is really good. But can they win in the playoffs? That's the thing. And that's been their issue lately. Can they actually win the playoffs?
The playoffs is different because any the regular season is the regular season. So, any team can go on any night and beat somebody. But, in the playoffs, it's a 7-game series. So, teams, if you do something well, teams are going to adjust to you. And Toronto's such a young team and hasn't really had that run yet and doesn't have that veteran that's been there yet to lead them. How will they react if they get up a game or two and something goes wrong, are they going to be able to handle the pressure and be able to make the proper adjustments to win a big 7-game series in a conference finals if they get there?
This is a big season for Dwayne Casey, right? Is that his name? The head coach for
I
Toronto?
think so.
Yeah, it is.
This is a big season for him, I think.
Everyone's on the block. Everyone's on the block.
Yeah. You got Thibodeau and Mark Jackson just
Except
sitting there
the
waiting.
Sixers.
Give me a title contender, please. We're 2-3 weeks away now from trade deadline. The league is full of rumors.
Can I start this, please? Please.
Have the podcast.
Blake Griffin to the Sixers?
Stop. That's not happening. Get out of my chair.
Oh, my God. It came up, and I was like, Sixers? Stop. You know what you're doing.
I saw
Stop.
Mike retweeted it. He was like, Sixers. And I'm like, stop. That ain't happening. No way. First of all.
But it's not, they're trading for him. He has, no choice.
But the minute he saw free agency, he ain't staying.
It'd be over.
He's not staying.
I wouldn't even play.
He'd be there till his offseason, man. As soon as he got to his offseason, he'd be demanding the trading, like, get me out of here right now.
All right, so let's start off with the Blake Griffin rumors. So there's tons of Blake Griffin rumors. I saw Blake Griffin to the Sixers. I saw Blake Griffin to the Nuggets, which
Celtics.
Celtics. I saw
And Hawks.
Yeah, that was a weird one though. I don't see the Hawks one happen. That was it. What was that? That was Horford.
Millsap.
Horford.
It was Horford and Korver, right? No, I thought it was Horford and Korver and a pick for Blake Griffin and Lance Stevenson.
I don't remember. Something like that, yeah.
I was like,
I like that for the Hawks.
Yeah, the Hawks would be. I mean, I don't know why
And Millsap at center?
No. Oh, yeah. Or you just play small ball. Oh, my God. They become.
But then But wait, if you get rid of Al Horford and send him to the Clippers, then you're gonna have to. Are you gonna keep DeAndre Jordan or no?
They would probably trade.
They might play big. Horford could play power forward.
Yeah, Horford's a stretch forward.
True.
He can shoot threes, which is what the Clippers want. They want.
That's a pretty big.
He's not as quick and as athletic and maybe gifted as some of the stretch fours, but he can shoot it. He can put you in the post. He can score on you. He plays defense. He's only like 6'10". He's not undersized. I mean,
for the center position, technically. I mean,
how many real good?
They also had
how many real good
Millsap
are really in the league anymore?
I mean, don't get me started. There are not very many.
I mean, Porzingis is like 7'3", and he's not the center.
Let me just pause. Wait a minute. Did you guys see the triple-double Whiteside had last night?
Well, it's probably blocks and rebounds again with points.
It was 10 points, 10 rebounds, 10 blocks. That is ridiculous.
Oh, my.
That is too much. Getting triple-doubles
he's underrated, right?
The thing about him, though, is he's almost like Ibaka was a couple years ago, where he just flies from the weak side with, like, reckless abandonment and just goes for blocks. If somebody would pump fake and dish the ball underneath, you'd have an open layup every time. He has no defensive discipline. He just comes over off of the weak side and just goes to block shots. And it's tough when you're coming full. It's tough when you're coming full speed down the lane or you're posting somebody up to pass the ball. But if you have any sort of composure, you just hold it, dish it, and you're going to find somebody open. Because watching some of those games, when he gets close, when he gets like 5 or 6 blocks, then the rest of the game he's just trying for those 10 blocks to try to get like a double-double or a triple-double.
I'm gonna flip back to the Blake Griffin thing. I saw another rumor. We were talking about Kevin Durant earlier. At this offseason, the Clippers would be open to doing a sign and trade Griffin for Durant. We talked about this a little bit on Twitter. I love that move. I think that's a great move for both sides. You let Westbrook be the primary ball handler for OKC. It's his team. He has Durant Ibaka down low. And then for the Clippers, you have the scoring threat that Chris Paul desperately needs offensively. Which then helps space the floor for guys like JJ.
I think you're looking at how well Blake Griffin has played in like a pick and roll with Chris Paul and running high tempo with Chris Paul, and Westbrook plays at a higher speed than that. So I mean, I think it's a great fit there. Westbrook is the absolute number one scoring option now, so he doesn't have to worry about whether he's being too selfish or not. And then for the Clippers, I mean, Blake Griffin scores over 20 a game, but a lot of that is off of really great passes from Chris Paul. His mid-range game is improved, but it's not there yet. And it's like, is he, even though he's averaging over 20 a game, is he really a guy that in a crunch time or when you really need a bucket, you can give him the ball one-on-one and say, go get me a basket? No, but Durant's that guy. So they get a proven scorer that's going to come in and, you know, his scoring's down a little bit this year, but you put him on that team, he could probably score over 30 a game again.
I mean, I think OKC would be fun to watch. I think that'd be electrifying. Just to see,
it'd be fun to watch.
To see Durant.
Are they contenders with Blake?
No, I think the Clippers are.
You think so?
Clippers are.
The Clippers,
I don't think OKC is.
Any team that gets Durant's going to be immediately contenders.
I don't think OKC is, to be honest. I don't think so. I think they would still need something else. You still need an actual shooter. Like Waiters would. You need an actual shooting guard. You have to go out and get somebody.
I think they would still need something else, but I think it improves both teams.
Yeah.
Maybe not improves OKC so much, but it's definitely something that I think they need. I don't think they can really have Westbrook and Durant for more than maybe this year and have them both be happy there.
Well, that's just like I saw. I mean, you know, Laker fans. I'm sure this was just a Laker rumor that Durant and Westbrook are going to go to LA. I'm thinking like.
I heard that about the Knicks too, though.
Durant and Westbrook going to the Knicks?
I heard that about the Knicks too. Yeah, I heard that too.
I don't know.
I could see maybe Westbrook going there.
I didn't say anything about it, but I heard it.
I could see Westbrook maybe going there because he's an LA guy. No, it's going to the Lakers because he's an LA guy. Yeah, he's from that area. He went to UCLA in college. It would make sense for him to go back there, but. With D'Angelo Russell there and like all of these young,
there's too many guards.
Does he really want to go to a team that's rebuilding that he's going to have to take over and wait a couple of years, or just wait for it, stay in OKC? They're going to put some more pieces around you.
The only thing I can say is if he goes to LA, he has value to bring in a top free agent. Because I think a lot of the issue is even though Westbrook is kind of a ball hog like Kobe is. Westbrook's also a point guard. Kobe's a shooting guard, demands the ball in his hand, so it's a little bit different. Get what I'm saying? It's okay for your point guard to be a ball hog because he still has to pass the ball a good majority of the time. Kobe can just be like, all right, give me that. So I do think he raised the interest level in LA, but I don't know.
And this is the offseason this year with all that TV money coming in, so the salary cap's going up like a crazy amount of money, so – teams are going to be willing. They're going to have more money to spend. They're going to be willing to spend more. So especially and LA has the money to even go over and pay the luxury tax if they want to bring in another big player if they were going to go after a move like Westbrook. So, I mean, in LA, the organization has been one of the best organizations, in the NBA. Not the last couple of years with, after Dr. Bust died, but, LA is still a destination you want to live in. It's LA, and it's one of the historic, organizations in the NBA. So if you could get one star to go there, maybe one or two more follow.
I mean, there was a lot of rumors that Cousins kind of wanted to play in LA too, the Lakers a couple of years ago. So I mean, maybe if Westbrook goes, then Cousins goes. I wouldn't mind playing for LA. I think I think LA needs a superstar like Westbrook. Because I do like Russell, but I don't know. I don't know if the Lakers get any better with their current roster. I feel like Russell needs to get moved, or even Clarkson. They have too many guards. They're too guard heavy right now. It's an issue. And your big man Troy Hibbert, that's an even bigger issue.
It's tough to want to move Russell because as bad as he's looked. You know what type of talent he has, and if you could ever get a coach or another guard to come in and harness it. But I think Clarkson is much more right now of, an established player. And he's not a great player, but he's a decent piece that you could move forward with.
Why the hell does Brian Scott still have a job? Somebody, please inform me why Brian Scott still has a job.
Lame duck. Who you want to bring in another coach to coach this team? Who, if he disappoints you?
Hey, who are you gonna get?
I want a coach who lets Randall and Russell get goddamn minutes in, not bench them and say, "Oh, I'm trying to humbleize him, bruh."
I never liked Brett.
I mean,
I never liked him.
let's take Kobe's quote for a second. If you leave him out there and try to play him through the growing pains, or if you take him off, what? It's going to make a shitty season less shitty? Like, no. Like, you got to learn to let these guys play through some growing pains, especially in a season like this where you're not going anywhere. Your pick isn't protected either. They have like a protected pick or whatever, so if they don't finish in the bottom 3, their pick is gone. So you know what? It's better off for this team to let those guys go out there and make mistakes and keep losing games, because if they don't keep losing games, they're going to lose their pick. And this is a team that desperately needs a big talent player. What?
You're lagging bad in the feed. Like you are.
Yeah, he's lagging a little
like
bit.
You're jumping more than CJ.
You're CJ lag right now.
You got CJ and Call of Duty lag right now. You're worse than Leroy was last week. I'm like, I could already tell
whoa, chill.
You were bad. At one point, the Yankee symbol behind you was your face for a solid 15 seconds. I showed my dad. We were laughing. Your face was the New York Yankee symbol. Like, you became the Yankees for like a good 15 seconds.
That's the goal. That's the goal right there, the man. Look at him.
Respect.
Was the audio still coming through?
Yeah, but it was like a little bit off.
Yeah, it's good.
You're actually a lot better now. You turned your Xbox off?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you're actually perfect now. But furthering on to these trade rumors, the Celtics, they're in a lot of trade rumors because they have Avery Bradley. They were blaming the trade. I think last night that win against Cleveland, I think that stopped a lot of the trade talk for the Celtics because that was nice.
They need Avery Bradley.
What?
I think they need Avery Bradley.
I think it helps the trade rumors, to be honest.
Definitely.
Because you see that what this team is, what they can do right now. That's only one game, though. So if they could get a bigger piece, a more established player to come in and help them out, imagine what they could do then. Because this team is built great. They have a lot of nice pieces, a lot of good pieces, but they don't have that, that go-to guy again, like some of these other teams are missing. Isaiah Thomas is their go-to guy. He's 5'9". You can't rely on a 5'9" point guard to come out and be the man. But they have a lot of nice pieces that they could move 2 or 3 of these guys to bring somebody in. Because, Boston's not a bad location to be. They're another one of the most storied franchises in the NBA. So who wouldn't want to go and play there and try to help continue that legacy?
I don't think DeMarcus Cousins would be a good fit. I feel like he would ruin that locker room. Like, as much as I like the player DeMarcus Cousins, what comes with him, I feel like just poisons the locker room. And I'm worried. Like, I would love to see him on that Celtics team. That would be a really good team. But I'm afraid of the chemistry. I'm afraid he would ruin that locker room. But the Blake Griffin Clipper trade, that interests me a lot. It would be Blake Griffin and Lance Stevenson to Boston for Jay Crowder and Avery Bradley. That makes the Clippers a lot better, and that gives the Celtics a solid superstar to build a franchise around with Isaiah Thomas and Smart.
But I think Avery Bradley is the one guy they really don't want to get rid of. I mean, he might be on the block, but he's one guy that I would not want to get rid of.
I mean, I wouldn't either, but
no, I wouldn't want to get rid of him either. He's one of the better players. Him and Isaiah, those are your two. You need those
trade
two.
value. That's just what it is.
It's dumb as it's gonna sound. I think Avery Bradley is a better piece to keep than Isaiah Thomas.
I'm not sure.
Especially if you could bring in.
I agree.
If you could bring in another point guard, or if you're getting Stevenson in that trade, there's your new primary ball handler. He's a little bigger.
I don't even know where we are. My fault.
I was saying that if we're gonna,
I think they're trying to get rid of David Lee too.
And nobody's gonna want him. You're not gonna get anything back for him.
Who?
But I was
No,
saying
nothing. But they're just trying to buy him out, I think. David Lee.
I was saying
Okay.
while you were going that, I think, as I said, as dumb as it's going to sound, I think that Avery Bradley is a better piece to keep than Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah, because I don't know
think
how
Isaiah-
well Isaiah Thomas does when he gets older.
Not even that he's their probably their leading scorer. He's kind of who gets them started, who gets them going right now. But I think you could find another point guard that does a similar thing to what he does at a bigger size, and especially if you're talking about like trade to the Clippers for like Blake Griffin and Lance Stevenson. Maybe you package Crowder with Isaiah Thomas, who's got a better trade value right now by the way he's playing, and you bring in Lance Stevenson to be your primary ball handler, and he could do a lot of the same things that Isaiah does, but he just can't shoot the three as well.
And actually, let me praise my boy Lance Stevenson right now, Mr. Born Ready. He's 19 for his last 24 shots. My son, he's been killing it. He was 6 for 6 last night. He's been moving the ball. Hasn't been doing turnovers. Hasn't been playing stupid. And I'm extremely happy because he's getting more minutes with Doc Rivers. That's my boy. About damn time you get your head out your ass. Way to go, Born Ready. Way to go, Lance.
It only took Austin Rivers getting thrown out of the game for him to get some minutes, though. So
I'm telling you, if Lance Stevenson gets minutes, he can play. Lance Stevenson's a good talent.
I mean,
Oh, we all know he can play.
let's just look at this. Is Austin Rivers really more deserving of minutes than Lance Stevenson?
No. Austin Rivers. If Austin Rivers'
No.
dad wasn't if Doc wasn't the coach, would Austin Rivers even be getting more than 5 minutes a game, or even starting?
Probably not.
Getting any minutes.
I think so. I think he's a decent player, but he's not better than Lance.
He was on his way out of the league before Doc saved him. To be honest, he was struggling down in New Orleans.
He was going down to the D League. I mean, Doc didn't want him to come out of college after his first year at Duke. This kid should still be in college. I mean, I don't know what year it is in the NBA, but this might be his senior year. This might be his first year in the league or whatever. But
this would be his senior year in college.
Yeah,
he had 1 year in New Orleans, and then
it's one of those things.
I thought it was 2 in New Orleans.
Was it 2?
So yeah, he might have got drafted. This might be his first year in the league if he would have stayed 4 years or whatever. But Doc didn't want him to come out after his first year. He said he needs to stay in, get more NBA ready. But again, when you take one of these guys' lottery picks after 1 year, you want him to come in. Some of these guys are talented enough to get drafted in the lottery, but they're not NBA ready. And then you throw these guys in. It's almost like when you take a quarterback in the first round of the NFL draft. You want him to be NFL ready. So you don't want to take the time to develop him and let him sit on the bench because your organization's in such turmoil that you can't afford that. But I think that's where Austin Rivers is at. He just needs some time to sit and learn the game a little bit better before he was ready to come in the league.
I agree. I'm just glad Lance gets the minutes. Further on, the Cavs were in trade.
Right.
Cavs have been in trade rumors.
Trying to dunk JR to somebody?
For Jared Dudley.
No, they
want Jared Dudley.
Either Jared Dudley. There's still the hope. They're still hopeful they can work out a deal for Markieff Morris.
That'd be nice. That'd be a good pickup.
I'm not sure how that works out though.
PJ Tucker. I think PJ Tucker has to come with that trade because they're trying to trade him too.
I don't think
PJ Tucker.
I don't think PJ Tucker goes to the Cavs.
No.
I think if he gets I saw something. The Raptor interested in Markieff Morris and PJ Tucker, or one or the other. Which that'd be bad for the Cavs if they got one or two of those guys. That could be an issue.
But if you're the Cavs, who do you get rid of for Markieff Morris?
J.R. Smith. Shumpert.
I don't think JR gets moved. I don't know if those guys get moved.
JR, no. No, those people don't get moved.
Maybe.
You're not going to move Tristan. But then who's your center? Tristan? The whole game? The whole time? Or who's going to come off the bench?
Ball. You would have.
I personally don't like Anderson Varejao. I've been saying this for forever.
But he's hurt,
moved,
so
though.
he's got no trade value.
He's got no value. Yeah.
I know. They have too many. They have a lot of centers and they have a lot of guards. Like something needs to go.
Maybe Richard Jefferson.
Maybe Mo Williams.
Mo's not getting any playing time. The Suns. That's really funny. The Suns
don't need another point guard though.
Yes, they do. No, they do. They have no Bledsoe, and
no, they don't.
And Brandon Knight's
there.
He's hurt. He's a shooting guard too. He's not even playing.
Huh. Well, maybe they do need a point guard.
Brandon Knight hasn't played in 2 weeks.
Well, there you go. Cavs give him
But it's
up.
going to be the same thing again, where once the offseason comes, though, then you'll have 3 point guards again, like when they had Bledsoe, Knight, and Isaiah Thomas, and they were just like,
Mo Williams is a 1-year deal. Mo's gone no matter what.
True.
It's only a 1-year deal, right? Was he 1 month?
Cavs need to. I want the Cavs to make a move. I want them to make a move.
They need something. They need something.
Who knows what it is? But
I think Markieff Morris. To be honest. Kevin Love got hurt last night. Not sure how long.
Markieff Morris is good.
Maybe the rumors
about what happened?
Tucker, because their defense is terrible lately too. So they're trying to bring in him maybe to help spark the defense.
What happened to Love?
What happened to Kevin Love? I don't even know what happened to Kevin Love, to be honest. He went down with
another Celtics injury.
It was a leg injury or some sort. I'm not sure what the report. Give me 1 second. I know it was a leg injury. Never mind.
Well, at least All-Star break's coming.
It was a thigh bruise. He left the game and didn't return for a thigh bruise.
He's fine.
Hey, thighs bruise.
Along with the Cavs, there's a few other teams that were, when you're watching them right now, you're thinking, there's just something wrong with that team, and they need a change or something. I think right now you're looking at the Hawks aren't what they were last year. They need to make a move for something.
I think the last couple of games. Have you seen the last couple of games?
No, but before that they were looking terrible.
Teague had like 30 points the other night.
Do you think the Hawks trade Harper?
No, I think Teague gets moved, and this breaks my heart because I saw a trade. Like the big rumor is Teague's going to Utah. That's the big rumor.
Teague?
Utah's for who?
Utah right now is the favorite to land Jeff Teague.
Who are they? Trey Burke?
No.
It's either Trey Burke or that NATO guy. There's a couple moves. Even Dante.
I think
what am I saying? The Clippers, I think, are one of those other teams where you watch them and something's got. They need a spark or something's got to change. They need a move.
They need something, yeah.
Even last year when they were 1 game from the conference finals and they've been good for the last couple of years, you just watch them and you're just like, I don't understand how they win so many games sometimes because there's no out-and-out number 1 scoring threat, and you're just like, they rely on J.J. Redick to get like 7 threes a game or to get 15 alley-oops a game in the fast break. I mean, Chris Paul can score 25 a game, but it's not his game.
I just saw a rumor that Carmelo Anthony will Carmelo Anthony ask to be traded to a contender?
No. He wants to stay on the Knicks.
He does. I know. I don't think he's moving. He likes Porzingis and all that.
He likes New York City too. He likes living in New York.
Yeah.
And
the Knicks.
You think the Pelicans finally get rid of Tyreke Evans?
Oh, I completely forgot about that team. Ryan Anderson's open for trade. So is Tyreke Evans. So is Eric Gordon. I wouldn't be surprised if one of those guys get moved. I think Eric Gordon, he gets hurt too much. I don't think you're going to risk giving up assets for Eric Gordon.
Even like the guys that don't get hurt, like a Tyreke Evans or Ryan Anderson, like, what have you done for me lately? Like, you're nice players, but like, what team or what situation do they fit where they're going to make an impact? Because right now, their names alone, because they've been in the league so long, are going to like want something significant in return for who they are, even though they haven't done much. But because Ryan Anderson's a 6'10" guy that can shoot threes, because Tyreke Evans is 6'7" and can handle the ball like a point guard, the Pelicans are going to want something decent in return. And who's willing to give up something to get them? And are they really going to go to a title contender? Do these guys really help somebody?
Well, I
think right now the
Clippers want.
I think right now the only teams that are going to make moves.
My fault.
And Tyreke Evans.
Yeah.
No, Anderson.
I don't know. Tyreke Evans, I don't think they move. They can't do anything with it.
Well, because right now, really, the only teams you're looking that are probably going to make moves right now, or like any trade block, are contenders that need a piece or two here or there to help their bench or help something out. or teams that are looking to unload contracts that aren't doing anything this year, looking to go into the offseason with a fresh start, trying to rebuild. So unless, you're going to trade them from one team that's at the bottom of the league to another team at the bottom of the league, I don't think any contenders are going to come calling for Tyreek Evans or, Eric Gordon. I mean, Ron Anderson could help because he's a stretch 4, but that's the only piece that you're looking for maybe I think he might be – he'd be like Spencer Hawes was for them a couple years ago.
I know that Joe Johnson might get moved.
I thought they're trying to buy his contract out.
Yeah.
I've been saying he needs to get on a better team for the long.
Well, I mean, he's
not Joe Johnson anymore.
No. Did you see his game last night?
He's not, no.
Bro, he had 27 points last night, 11 assists.
But we know Joe Johnson. Joe Johnson is overrated.
But Joe Johnson on the right
he's
team.
Not Joe Johnson from the Hawks.
Of course. He's old. But on a contender who needs an extra piece.
He's kind of like when the Spurs,
maybe
Spurs in the 2000s went and got Michael Finley from the Mavericks at the end of his career to be their starting shooting guard. And Michael Finley wasn't Michael Finley anymore, but he was still better than half the starting shooting guards in the league. That's what Joe Johnson could be.
Michael Finley was so nice.
That's what Joe Johnson could be on a contending team where he doesn't have to be the man. He can catch and shoot. He's still proven even this year that when it's crunch time in the fourth quarter, he can get you some buckets one-on-one when you need to. So he's a nice fit for a contender if you could, but again, he's going to demand a lot in return.
As crazy as it is, I know that the Cavs wanted him earlier in the season or prior to the offseason. Joe Johnson on the Cavs wouldn't be a bad fit.
I don't think so,
dumping JR or something for Joe Johnson would be the right move, I think, to be honest.
But I think
that's what I said. Joe Johnson or Jamal Crawford.
Yeah, Crawford ain't getting moved.
From the
Crawford's not going to move. The Clippers desperately
but still, it'd be
Crawford.
a nice pickup for Cavs.
Yeah.
Yes, they do. He's so nice.
The problem with the Nets is the Nets are going to want probably draft picks because they have no first-round draft pick for 6 years because they gave all of them up.
Unless they buy him out.
Yeah.
If they buy him out, then they don't have to deal with that.
I think obviously they're going to try to look to trade him first to try to get something in return, but because it's Joe again, the name Joe Johnson, they're going to want a first round pick or something for him because they don't have any first round picks for 4 years because they gave all of them up to get KG and Ray Allen and Paul Pierce back 5 years ago.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because the couple of teams that we all know need to make moves, the Knicks need to make
probably
a move.
Aren't going to.
Yeah. We're the minute I saw the Jeff Teague to the Jazz possibility, I was like, really? The Knicks, the Pacers, we're all gonna lose out to the goddamn Jazz.
Blake to the Sixers.
We were talking about the Jazz last week on Twitter again, though, but we all agree they're a nice up and coming young team. So you get them a point guard that can run the show for them. And I was very critical. I was very critical last year of the contract they gave Gordon Hayward. I was 100% against it. This guy did not deserve that much money. I said, how is he going to make more money than Chandler Parsons? Well, guess what? They just proved me wrong. Gordon Hayward's turning into a superstar, and Chandler Parsons has been a shell of himself since he left Houston.
He's been playing decent, though, down the stretch recently. They're playing. I mean, as weird as this sounds, they're playing Chandler Parsons at the 4 down in Dallas. But the other night, he had a double.
Yeah.
The other night, he had 24 points and 12 rebounds, and I was like, I guess Chandler Parsons can kind of play the 4.
Maybe he's not a shell of himself, but, I mean, in Houston, 2 years ago, he was an assassin, man. That guy was on fire. It was he couldn't stop him. And then I think he's been hurt a little bit in Dallas since he's moved, but he hasn't been the same player. And I was thinking when those two moves happened, and I was like, how is Gordon Hayward going to get max money and Chandler Parsons is getting $10 million a year?
Utah could be kind of scary now that I think about it. With Derek Favors, Gobert, and then you have Rodney Hood. They're starting 5. Jeff Teague, Hood, Hayward, Favors, and Gobert. Oh my God!
But they're benched though.
You got
Trey Lyles. Trey Lyles. Alec Burke.
I'm not sold.
NATO, you play a smaller lineup.
I'm not sold on the Jazz.
Alec Burks. Trevor Booker.
I'm not sold.
I think they could be solid.
I can't be so.
I don't know if they get out. I don't know if they get out of the first round with their playoff team.
Wait, I'm gonna look at the standings right now. Okay, Utah's they're 3 games behind Houston for the 7th seed, 4 games behind Dallas for the 6th seed. I mean, they're screwed unless they get up to a 5 seed.
So they're 8th right now.
Yeah, I mean they're not gonna. They play the Warriors. They lose in 4. So.
But you did say the Warriors lose first round.
Yeah.
You did
that was
say
before
that.
I saw what they were going to do this year. I wasn't really. All right, Burger. I don't think you weren't filled in on this.
First round.
When this season started, I'm still dead sold on this. If the Cavs were healthy last year, I think the Cavs wins in 6 games. If they're healthy.
I completely agreed with you. We talked about this after the finals.
But this year, this ain't the same Warrior team. I wasn't expecting Curry to average 7 more points per game.
These guys feel like they belong now. Last year, they were feeling their way through the league. They're like, are we really this good? Are we really this good? And they just kind of rode the wave of the momentum. And now they're like, shit, we got the title. Nobody thinks we should have won the title, so fuck it. We're going to go prove that we should have won the title. Now we're just going to kill everyone.
Pretty much.
Correction. Corey says, Warriors lose in 2nd round this year. Remember this tweet. That's what he said.
Watch.
2nd round.
OKC overtakes the Spurs for the 2nd seed. Spurs beat him in the 2nd round. Boom. Watch it happen. Watch it happen.
I don't want them to be in the finals. I don't want it. I don't want it.
Come on, OKC. Take that 2 seed.
And again, the craziest thing about the Warriors, again, though, is a lot of teams make moves in the offseason and get better and stuff. The Warriors didn't make any moves. They didn't make any moves. The same roster, same lineup.
They got rid of David Lee.
Oh, big whoop. He wasn't playing any minutes anyway.
Yeah, that's it. That's really all they did.
The only difference.
And then they gave Brandon Rush minutes.
The only difference is that they gave Brandon Rush some minutes. Maurice Spates gets a couple more minutes, and
wait a minute. There's been like 4 games this year where Brandon Rush has started. He's played 30 minutes and hasn't even shot the ball once. Like what the fuck? What are you doing?
I still remember.
Yeah, he's shooting 48% from the 3-point line.
Yeah, I know that.
He's like, "Come on, Brandon Rush, put that back. You don't deserve that ring. Come on."
Who said? I said that, right?
Yeah.
He walked up. He took that ring like this. He fist put his hand up. I was like, "Did you even take off your jumpsuit for the playoffs? Did you even do? You touch the court?"
No, he probably went like 2 for 2 from 3 in one of the games that blew somebody out, and that was about it.
All right, hear me out on this. Trade rumor could be a big pickup. Greg Monroe, Michael Carter Williams.
Oh God, I forgot all about them. Yeah, Greg Monroe in Milwaukee was a bust. That really backfired.
You know what? That really pisses me off because the Knicks were in the running for him. And you know what?
Don't be pissed off. Robin Lopez. Thank God you got Robin Lopez.
Maybe we could have got both of them.
Robin Lopez is nice.
Stop.
But then you wouldn't have Porzingis? Or would you still have Porzingis start?
Imagine that front line.
Forward.
Dude, imagine that front line. You could rotate Lopez, Monroe, and Porzingis all game long instead of having Serafin and Kyle O'Quinn. Look at that front line now.
I like Kyle O'Quinn.
I like Kyle O'Quinn. I hate Kevin Serafin.
But would Lopez come off the bench?
Really?
Would you have Lopez?
No,
because he would have to.
In that situation, you could afford to have Porzingis come off the bench and be the scorer on the second unit.
That's true.
That's
true. I think Jose Calderon back helps too. By the way, throwing that.
They need to get rid of him.
I just feel like if you get Michael Carter Williams too and Greg Monroe, that's a good pickup for any team.
I don't think teams are going to want to take both of them though.
The Knicks could use Michael.
You don't think so?
That's an okay pickup.
Yeah.
I think he's better than Calderon, but he's definitely more of a ball hog and takes horrible shot selections.
And he's very turnover. He's a big turnover.
He's very turnover prone because he makes terrible decisions. And maybe
but look what team he started with. The Sixers.
Yeah, but maybe the Bucks thought with Jason Kidd there, who was one of the best point guards been one of the best point guards in the NBA over the last 20 years. Like maybe Kidd could teach him some things or get him to look at the floor differently. But he's just such a bad decision maker.
He looked good last year. They were a big surprise last year. Of course, no one expected them to make the playoffs. They gave Chicago a hell of a fight last year in the playoffs. And then this year, you're scratching your head and you're like, Jesus Christ. They got Greg Monroe and they're 20 wins less this year.
Yeah. I personally thought going into this year they were going to fight for one of the last spots in the Eastern Conference playoffs, but there's something wrong with the locker room or the team.
I feel like any of them. Who's their starting five? Because any of those starting fives can get traded, to be honest.
Michael Carter-Williams, Middletown, the Greek Freak, Greg Monroe, and they play. I think they play John Henson at the center, or did they play Monroe and they play small?
Who knows?
I don't know. I just know that them and Detroit flipped. I thought Detroit was going to be, and now Detroit's beating the Bucks.
Detroit has all their old scraps, man. They got Brennan Jennings and Ersan Ilyasova over there. So I mean, maybe the Bucks are wrong to get rid of those two guys because the Pistons are playing well with them.
Reggie Jackson's doing good. Drummond's drumming. So.
I mean, like, how many 2020 games is this guy going to have by the end of this year? Like,
who else is going to grab rebounds in that team?
It seems like every night the dude has 20 rebounds.
No one else is grabbing boards. Who else is going to grab boards?
Nobody else can grab boards. He swallows them.
Who?
I just realized the Pacers are a freaking 8 seed. I hate them.
You niggas suck.
Weren't they like 4 like 2 months ago?
Yeah. Paul George got tired legs, and then everything went downhill. And then CJ Miles.
You know who's a big name still, too? Channing Frye. Oh. People want Channing Frye.
Oh, yeah, people do want Channing Frye. Stretch 4, that's why. The stretch 4 is in this league. Everybody's going to go crazy over
It's the new thing, yeah.
He can't play wicked defense, and he can't put the ball on the floor.
I know, but they want him. A lot of teams want him.
Dude, if I was playing him, I would just put somebody right up in his face and say, go around me, see what happens. Nothing's going to happen because you can't put the ball on the floor.
Berg, you don't play defense, right, so I ain't going go around you.
Calling it right now. Blake Griffin.
That's different.
Shut up. I mean, I like that move. I like a Blake Griffin for Kevin Love trade. Yeah, that helps both teams.
Keep Kevin Love and get Blake.
Why you gotta talk stupid? That's just stupid. That's never happened. Happened. You have to talk realistically. That's not realistic.
I just want it to happen. Something happened for the Cavs. Cavs are Knicks. Something happened, please.
You can't turn off trade logic on 2K in real life.
I think the Blake Griffin would help the Cavs because I think if the Cavs would win a title if Blake was there, I think LeBron's going after he wins the title. He's going to go somewhere else because he just wanted to come back to Cleveland to win him one. So then you got Kyrie Irving and Blake Griffin in a pick and roll. It's pretty nice.
You know what else? You know what other trade I like? Kyrie for Chris Paul.
No.
Yes.
Hell no.
I don't think Chris Paul.
No.
They're friends, but I don't think they're playing the same team.
They could.
Kyrie Irving's better than Chris Paul.
They did. Not passing. Chris Paul is a way better creator for his teammates than Kyrie Irving will ever be. But
I'd rather give Kyrie the ball than Chris Paul.
Chris Paul's an underrated scorer too.
But if you have Chris Paul the ball in his hand, that gives Kevin Love a higher ability to get better look shooting than what he gets Kyrie Irving and LeBron. It's just simple facts because they both demand the ball in their hands so much.
I think LeBron gets Kevin Love some good looks.
He always does.
He's also a small forward.
The threes usually, but still.
I think I watched a lot of Clipper games. Chris Paul has made Wesley Matthews look a lot better than not Wesley Matthews.
Chris
Wesley
Paul
Johnson.
Makes a lot of people look a lot better. But again, like I was saying earlier, the problem is when you have your point guard as your best player on your team who's taking up a lot of salary cap space and who's like your number one player, they need to be able to be a dynamic scorer. Now, I think Chris Paul is an underrated scorer, but I don't think he's a dynamic scorer. Chris Paul is one of the best pull-up from the elbow jump shooters with the ball in his hand in the league.
I'm just saying, somebody did like a 2K thing. They traded Chris Paul and Kyrie Irving. Chris Paul on the Cavs, they won 12 championships. Kyrie Irving and the Cavs, they only won 2 championships. No, they kept doing it. Like they didn't play it out. They did like 1 year, then they restarted it. Cavs with Kyrie Irving won. Cavs with Kyrie won 2 rings. Chris Paul and Cavs won 10 rings.
But come on, just saying. You can't trust 2K because LeBron always goes to the Lakers in 2K for some odd reason. So you can't trust 2K.
Russell Westbrook and LeBron going to LA next year?
Hell no. LeBron would never.
They're probably getting a fight on the court about who's going to handle the ball.
And when that Kevin Durant just stand there being like, "You just yell at me," LeBron be like, "What the fuck are you talking to?"
No, LeBron would just walk to the bench and throw a sub in and just go sit down and be like, "Cool, you want to run the team? Go ahead, see what happens."
Yeah, exactly.
So we don't really have any. Is that who we think gets moved? Jeff Teague, right? He's definitely going to get moved. I think he's going to Utah.
Jeff Teague's going to get moved. I think Blake Griffin's interesting. That's one where I think if the right suitors come calling with the right players to give the Clippers, I think he might get moved too because they have a better record without him than with him. I still think they need him, but
yeah. Howard? I forgot about Dwight Howard. Is Howard?
I don't think anybody wants him. Nobody wants him.
The Celtics wanted Howard, but the Rockets said they don't want to give up Howard without something back.
I think somebody said that was just somebody put that out there somebody just put it out there.
They're not going to get rid of Howard for nothing.
Why would you want Dwight Howard? Like, he doesn't give you anything. He doesn't bring you anything.
No.
Like,
he never. I never liked Dwight.
Kelly Olynyk gives you more at the moment than Dwight Howard does.
Dwight Howard hasn't been. Dwight Howard has had the same game for the last 10 years of his career. Since he's been in the league.
He had that 1 year where they went to the finals where he developed a little bit of a baby hook and he could make it. And then after that, it disappeared. He shot 65% from the free throw line that year too. And since then, he can't shoot over 50% from the free throw line, and he's got no touch around the basket.
He was a great 2020 guy in Orlando, and I can't remember the last time I saw Dwight Howard with 2020.
Who was on that team though for Orlando?
You know who worked with him in Orlando?
Who?
Patrick Ewing.
Yeah,
Patrick Ewing. Yeah.
I saw something last night at the Rockets, or like the other night. He had 5 points and 16 rebounds, but he only shot the ball 4 times. And I was like, how the hell does Dwight Howard only shoot the ball 4 times?
Because nobody's dumb enough to give him the ball.
And I was just like,
Harden's not going to give him the ball.
Harden's not giving the ball. Ty Lawson's not giving him the ball. Like,
Ty Lawson.
That's one.
Ty Lawson. It's just I'm a shooter, and if you get the rebound, that's how you get the ball. That's what it is.
You can get Ty Lawson for cheap right now too.
That's what I'm saying. He's be a good. He doesn't fit the Rockets right now, so he could be. I think the Rockets need Beverly. The Rockets need Beverly.
Beverly's a better.
I like Patrick Beverly on a different team.
Ty Lawson's the Knicks.
I like it. They need help pushing. They need help pushing the ball up the floor. They have nobody that pushes
anyone
the
to
ball
the Knicks. I like
and
it.
Tries to get him in transition.
Knicks are struggling.
Anyone to the Knicks, I like it.
Ever since I said I'm going to be a Knicks fan, I'm slowly like, I want to
any point guard to the Knicks.
I'm in it. I'm in it for the struggle.
I'm
getting a shirt, I'm getting a hat, in it for the struggle.
Yeah, the mistake was letting Afflalo get like a couple of 30-point games because now he thinks he's like Kobe Bryant and just tries to back people down, take fadeaway jumpers like 17 times a game. Yeah, but he's hit or miss. He scores 30 or he scores 4. And it's just like,
all right, you're right.
Somebody needs to go and be like, dude, when you're backing somebody down, if you don't have it, get rid of the damn ball. Stop taking a freaking fadeaway jumper from 17 feet away if you're not feeling it.
Who, Aaron Afflalo?
Does Derek Fisher get moved?
Yeah.
Does Derek Fisher get moved?
No. Derek Fisher, no.
You don't think so?
Not yet.
I just don't like it. I don't like it.
The team's not in a position yet where they can win anything. But I don't like him either.
I heard somebody saying the other day that the problem with the Knicks is the best point guard is their coach, and he can't play anymore.
It's true.
The best point guard on their team is their coach.
Let Fisher lace him up. I bet he still got them in the tank.
Listen, player coach. Fisher took the OKC to the finals. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Let Kurt Rambis be the head coach for a while. Let Fisher play the rest of the year at point guard. We'll be all right.
I mean, I really think either Thibodeau or Mark Jackson would be a good fit.
Get Phil to come down from the press
box.
Phil's
not coming back.
Get Phil to come down from the press box. We can get Fisher to go play point guard. Then we can try to bring Kobe in for the second half of the year and play shooting guard. And we'll be all right.
Okay. Kobe's been playing really good last year.
Phil's got rings on his fingers and his toes. He don't want to come down. Come on.
Wait a minute. Can we give Kobe some love right now?
38?
Kobe. They were on that 10-game losing streak. Kobe goes.
He always gets love, no matter what.
Kobe goes. No. Kobe goes. I'm not letting us set the Lakers' all-time record for losses in a row. He went out and scored 38 points, and he had 14 points in the last 5 minutes. Yeah, 14 points in the last 5 minutes of that game. I was like, Kobe, way to go, boy.
And then the game after he had a double.
He's on the Lakers.
The game after he had a double-double.
He had 27 and 12, and they beat the Pelicans.
27 and 12.
Yeah,
but imagine Kobe on like a different team. Kobe's different team.
I can't.
You can't, but he would win.
Unless it's like Indiana or like Phoenix where he could wear like gold or purple, so then it kind of like looks a little similar. But other than that, no, you can't.
Hey, let's do it, Kobe.
Ew.
Come play Paul George.
Kobe be like, why the hell do I want to go to Indiana?
You always have to stop hating on the Pacers so much in the podcast.
I like the Pacers. I like the Pacers. I don't hate me on the Pacers, but it just can't be LeBron. That's the end of the story.
I know. They broke my heart 4 years in a row.
But trust me,
I thought Roy Hibbert was good back then. What the hell? God damn.
Listen, I'm just annoyed that Iggy is in LeBron's head. That's my problem.
He's not in LeBron's. Nobody's in LeBron's.
Come on. Iggy shuts him down.
The only person that might be in LeBron's head is Boris Diaw.
Yeah.
Boris shut him down in the finals a couple years ago. Locked him down.
That made no sense. Yeah, that made no sense that Boris Diaw shot him down.
So that's definitely like in his head. Like, there's no way Boris Diaw should be able to keep up with LeBron.
I also think about Iggy too. He just doesn't score against him. I'm just like, what are you doing, man? It's Iggy. I know he's good, but it's not that good.
Iggy's physical. Iggy's almost the same size as LeBron, and he can keep up with him quickness and like power wise. So like LeBron tries to back him down. Is he? Maybe, but he's basically the same size. He's the same type of body, so he can. So he can handle it. But like Diaw, like he's 6'9". He's got a gut a little bit. Like how can he stick LeBron?
French.
But Popovich's thing has always been back off him, let him shoot over you. I don't care if he hits 20 jump shots in a game. If he wants to win that way, he can do it, but he's not going to do it for 7 games. And that's Popovich's philosophy against LeBron.
Popovich, when he found Diaw, was like looking in the crowd. He saw somebody with 2 hot dogs and a beer. I was like, hey, you want to play basketball? Diaw, come on down here. Throw on this jersey. That's what Boris Diaw looks like.
Diaw's his first couple years in the league with Phoenix, he was skinny. He was like 6'10". He was a string bean that could handle the ball at the 4. And then he got on terrible teams, and he stopped caring because he was losing, and he gained a bunch of weight. And Tony Parker was like, hey, man, like, why don't you come to us, drop a few LBs. You can still have like 2 cheeseburgers a week, just not 7. And like, come play for us, and like, you'll be all right.
Who's the dude on the Warriors? I can't think of his name right now. Who's their starting guy?
Bogut?
No, not Bogut. No,
he plays like 6. He plays like 6 minutes a game in the first quarter, and the rest of the game.
Draymond looks like your uncle at a barbecue. Like he does not look like a baller.
Draymond lost some pounds. He was, yeah. He was fit coming out of college. Now he's pretty skinny.
All right, guys. We're not going to do that last segment. This show has already been on for over an hour.
I don't even remember what the last segment was.
It was
LeBron and Curry. What a surprise. Curry shot more threes. Yeah. Oh, my God.
LeBron's now like whatever on the all-time scoring list. Curry is now 53 threes away from breaking his record.
It's crazy that he's 50 threes away from breaking a record, and it's crazy that he's like top 10 all-time already in the NBA in threes, but it's also a different game. The three-point line didn't come around until like, the 70s or something like that, and then even once it came around, people were only taking 2 or 3 a game. Like the best three-point shooters in the league were only taking – like Steve Kerr has the best all-time three-point percentage. He only has like 500 makes.
Yeah.
And he was thought of as a great three-point shooter. So that's just how the game has changed. The emphasis on the three-point line is so crazy now.
What was it? LeBron's like 16th right now, and he's like 67 points or something like that. Like the 15th.
Passed KG last week and somebody else later on in the week.
Paul Pierce is in front of him right now.
He's climbing up the list.
Weirdest thing I heard is that LeBron has more minutes than Larry Bird had his whole career. right now.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Well, Larry only had like a 10-year career because of his back.
True. And Larry came. Did you see that interview with Larry Bird? He said he's going to die. He said his years are numbered because of his time in the NBA and the beating he took.
It was a different league back then. I mean, it's.
I'll never forget Bill Laimbeer basically just clotheslining him to the ground.
It's so crazy the NBA. Like, I understand. Like, it was so physical that they had to change the rules in like the late '80s and the early '90s and all that. Like when those guys played, but like now it's like Tyler Hansbrough rules in college. If you breathe the same air as the dude, it's a foul. Like you can't touch anybody now. It's like they went too far. It was like I understand they needed to be less physical and less. They needed less contact, but now it's like there's not enough contact. They need to go like somewhere in between again. But it's like he can't sneeze in the same vicinity of somebody, and it's like a foul.
100%. All right, guys.
I like Hansbrough.
Good show. Thank you, everybody who tuned in. We had a lot of people join in and out of this call today. I was actually pretty impressed.
Yes, we did.
We will be here again next week
It's the Lucas. We do accept Collins, but we didn't have any questions today.
Guys will be here again next week, 11:30 a.m. Thank you, everybody who tuned in. Berger, Leroy, always a pleasure. And we'll see you guys next week.
Okay. And we're back.
From a quick little break, we're back. We're just going to talk about Super Bowl tomorrow. You know, we're all sport heads here. Let's just talk about it. I'm hoping my boy Peyton gets one more ring. I'm hoping.
One more, Peyton. One more.
I feel like Cam's going to dab his way to the Super Bowl. But I'm hoping.
He just setting up for hike. He's like, ready? Hike. like, come on.
My heart's telling me that Peyton gets it and goes out on top. But my brain is telling me the Panthers are going to win it. But I hate the Panthers. I hate them so much.
I don't have a problem with the Panthers. I
will show you why I hate the Panthers.
What is he going to do?
He's a Buccaneer. Is it because he's a Buccaneer fan?
Oh, that's why. But come on. You're a Buccaneers fan.
They play me dirty every year. They hit somebody out of bounds to get somebody hurt. They kick somebody off my team. They got Chris Sims hurt. They got Cadillac Williams hurt. Fucking Captain Mutterland's an asshole.
Cadillac Williams.
Wait a minute, pause. Where did Berger get this southern accent from all of a sudden? Berger had a slight southern accent for that entire conversation real quick. I saw you. What the hell was it?
Oh, my God.
Captain Mutterland hit him out of bounds dirty.
Bro, being a Buccaneers fan is rough. Being a Bucs fan is rough. I say being a Sixers fan.
But worse than being a Knicks fan.
Knicks fans and Bucs fans, y'all deserve each other.
Bruh. Broncos.
My Bucs got more title wins than my Knicks do in the last 20 years. So
this is
the only thing I can say is, if I'm so scared that like Peyton's gonna have like deja vu seeing this Panther defense compared to the Seahawks defense, I'm scared he's gonna have the first hike. And he's gonna go over his head again. He's gonna be like, "Fuck, this is round 2." Like,
stop! No, hell no. Peyton's gonna be locked in.
First shotgun snap's gonna come back. Kuechly's gonna come free through the middle and just drill him. I mean, you just how can you think a team is 15-1 is gonna win the Super Bowl? It's hard to argue. And the way they rolled over Arizona though.
I know, and the way they rolled over Seattle too, for the most part. I mean, I know Seattle came back, but the Panthers pretty much dominated that game for the most part.
It's either going to be a close game or the Panthers just blow them out first half. That's what it's going to be.
You think it's going to be a late comeback? I don't think. No, Leroy. If it's a comeback, I don't think the Broncos win. The Broncos can't play comeback.
I think the Sheriff's got one more 300-yard game in him.
Maybe. I think
you better hope.
I don't think he's going to retire, but probably will. But I don't know.
Just get them bubble screens to Demarius. He'll take 2 to the house. He just needs to get his head out of his ass for one game.
If
he just needs that, let me just sit in a zone again and just pass.
If Peyton wins, he'll retire. If he loses, I think he goes, I will play another year, and hopefully I'll get lucky and get to the Super Bowl again.
Who's
he
gonna
it,
play?
Bro. They got it.
Well,
the Jets. No, I'm just kidding.
No, please, no.
The Broncos aren't going to bring him back. No other contender needs a quarterback that bad, but they're going to bring in Peyton.
The Jets actually could.
Cowboys?
No, I got Tony.
I would say, you're not going to bring in Peyton for Fitzpatrick with the year Fitzpatrick just had.
No, but still, it's Peyton. It's like they didn't say about Brett Favre, and they scooped him up real quick.
That's like trading Kobe for LeBron and saying, "Well, he's still Kobe." It don't work. It don't work.
Pause. It's Patrick LeBron James in this scenario. Hold up. Are you comparing Fitzpatrick to LeBron James?
No, but I'm just saying,
you definitely just compared Fitzpatrick to LeBron James.
It was an unintentional comparison.
Fitzpatrick is. I don't even know who he is. I don't even know.
That's like trading Kobe for Kevin Garnett, and you're like, all right, guys. No, I'm kidding. That's not even.
Kevin Garnett sucks.
It have to be like. That's like trading That's like trading Kobe for Corver. My bad.
Not even.
That's pretty accurate, actually. And that's pretty accurate.
No.
Because sometimes Corver's ooh, and sometimes Fitzpatrick's
it's like trading Kobe for Percy Jones.
Texans? Peyton to the Texans? They can use a quarterback. DeAndre Hopkins?
I think they're probably going to get Johnny Manziel.
Yeah,
no.
But with a
Where have you been? Johnny Manziel's
I know, but still.
Do you think the Texans are that good to get a wild card spot though next year? With a healthy Andrew Luck, the Colts are winning that division again. I don't care what anybody says.
Not with that defense. I'm sorry. I watched Colts. They ain't got no defense. I don't know what you watch. They got no offense. They got no offensive line.
It's not the Colts.
They won 6 games with Matt Hasselbeck.
They play the Titans twice a year. They play the Texans twice a year. They play the Jaguars twice a year.
That's 5 wins. That's 5 wins. They're gonna slip up in one of those games. That should be 5 wins, easy.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you play other good teams that with good defenses, and they run through your offensive line, and then your best quarterback, Andrew Luck, gets a lacerated spleen and a broken rib. Shit happens.
I feel you, Chris Sims.
I feel like playing Madden right now. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like playing Madden.
I don't. Madden sucks now.
I do.
I tried to play Leroy Madden 2 weeks ago, and I got mollywopped.
Every time you try to drop back to pass, it gets intercepted, or your receiver drops it.
Let's pick different teams.
You have Madden? You bought Madden?
No, my dad got it. He just got it.
I was gonna say, why the fuck you buy Madden? I can't. I'm going to the gym to play basketball. Want a ball? Want to Seth Q? Get my 38-year-old Kobe on. Shoot 5 shots. Shoot 40 shots and make 5. Jump man.
Well.
I think he makes about 10 out of 40. I wouldn't say 5. That's a little harsh.
Nah, I was disrespectful. My fault. I'm really disrespectful to Kobe on this podcast. Last week I threw that shade at him about the.
You are.
I gotta stop. That's my boy. He's watching all these right now.
He's still good. It's just a team. It's just a team he's on. He's
good. Not as good as he used to be, but
he's good. He's still gonna give you 15 points.
I'm telling you, if they had a good second scoring option, that the Lakers would be better than they are. If they still have Pau Gasol, they probably would be better.
If you could plug Kobe into an offense or a team that had some other options where he didn't have to be the number one guy, he could probably still get you 20 a game just being the not number one scoring threat and not having all the pressure on his shoulders. He could come in and be like a 6-man, give you 20 minutes. He probably scored 20 points in 20 minutes if you didn't have to play 35 minutes a game.
True that.
Yes, sir.
All right. And we are officially done with this episode of Center Court. We just have to throw in our Super Bowl predictions. So we got 2 people rooting for – no, all of us are rooting for the Broncos right now. But my mind and Berger's mind, we both think the Panthers are going to win it. But I'm hoping Peyton gets one more. Hopefully it's the last rodeo for the Broncos. That's some corny-ass joke I just said. And we are out of this.
Broncos.
I'm hoping that defensive line ends Cam's dabbing all day long.
I hope Peyton scores a touchdown. Peyton's just like his dad's one time. One time.
And he just fakes. He's like, nah.
He's up there. He's like, I got my second ring. I want to thank everybody. And Cam, I'm still the best. And that's it.
We gonna get over under. We're gonna hit 20 Omahas.
Oh my! I gotta hear.
Hopefully.
Omaha, Cam, you suck. Omaha, dab, Omaha. I hope he did dab. I hope he throws in a dab. Omaha, dab.
Did you see his Super Bowl interview?
Cam? No.
The guy was asking.
Cam's? Yeah, I saw Cam's.
The reporters were asking Peyton like questions, and the answer was the answer to everything was like Omaha. They're like, what's the capital of like Oklahoma or whatever? He's like, Omaha. And they're like, where's the College World Series held? He's like, Omaha. And they asked him another question. He's like, Omaha. Like, all right, I see where you're going.
All right, guys.
It's crazy.
And we are officially done. Everybody have a great rest of your weekend. We'll see you next week.